Good afternoon, students. This is your economics teacher. So I'm here to give you something new in your economics. So as you know, we are suffering with COVID-19 pandemic. So we will not let you suffer in this pandemic related to your studies. So for economics, I'm there to help you, and Cambridge International School, the SUA, is also helping us to make you learn with e-learning initiative. So let's think about today what we're going to do. So let's begin for today. So we were doing chapter number 3, and the name of the chapter is demand. So this is going to be the third part of your chapter 3. So subject is economics. So the topic for today is shift in demand curve, and we will learn some related topics to this. And your grade is grade 11, and my name is Miss Sarita Seni. So let's start with today's topic. So yes. So topics to be covered for today. First topic is shift in demand curve. So there are two types of shift generally. So shifts occur because of factors other than price. So which we called already ceteris paribus. I guess that you remember in the last lesson we done it. So shift in demand curve, and I told you earlier even. So the shifts are opposite of movements because movements were occurring because of only price. So here shifts are occurring because of the factors other than price. So we will talk about this in detail. Then we will learn about the graphs, which curves for this. Then we will learn about substitute and complementary goods and their graphs. Then we will learn about cross demand. Then we will learn about price of substitute goods. All these things we are going to do today, and then in the end we have to do questions to be done for today. So next is uh, let's have a quick recap of the last time what we have done in the last lesson. So let's begin with that. So we have covered a law of demand in that lesson. So we talked about reasons for law of demand, then we talked about exceptions, then we talked about certain points where this law of demand is important. So we learned about the schedule, then we learned about the movements in the demand curve. So we talked about expansion and contraction in the last. So I assume that there is no problem in the last topics which we have covered. But now for the today's topics, let me start with shift in demand curve. What are the shifts? So shift in demand curve, as I told you, when the demand of a commodity changes due to change in any factor other than the own price of the commodity, it is known as change in demand. So shift in demand curve is also known as change in demand. So it is expressed as a shift in demand curve. So what is that? Again, the same thing which I told you. So if any change occur in the demand because of factors other than the own price of the commodity, that we call it as ceteris paribus. So all those that change is called change in demand. So in other words, we call it as shift in demand curve. So let's begin. What are the two types of shifts? So after this, we have to first start with the reasons for shift in demand curve. So why this shift occur in demand curve? So the very first thing is we have to understand the reasons. So I was talking about factors other than own price of the commodity. So the first was change in price of substitute goods. So because of change in price in substitute goods, so obviously there will be change in demand curve. Then the price change in price of complementary goods, then change in income of consumers. All these factors other than price of that own commodity, that own price of the commodity, so we call it as the reasons for shift in demand curve. So other factors remaining constant. So these are all factors, ceteris paribus, all factors. So we are talking about this. So change in income of consumers, change in tastes and preferences, then change expectation of change in price in future. So I told you petrol and diesel, their prices. So change in population. So if we got more population of women and children, that we have already discussed in determinants. So these are all points similar. And then is change in distribution of income. So we talked about all determinants of individual demand and market demand. So these are the same points which we are talking about. So these are always letting the change in the demand curve. So next is change in distribution of income, then change in the season and weather. So all these points are the reasons why there are shift in demand curve. So let's move to the next point. So what is the next point? Next is shift in demand curve. So if we talk about shift in demand curve, so you can see there are two shifts. One is the you can see the DD. First, the curve is DD for demand curve. So shift occur because of shift to the rightward shift. So we call it as that is towards right hand side. So you can see the curve is D1 D1. So it will tell you the increase in demand when at the same price people are demanding more of the goods. So because of other reasons people are buying more goods. So due to favorable changes, other factors at the same price. So because of that. Now, second point is when we are shifting the demand towards the leftward shift. So in this case, what happens? Decrease in demand. Price will remain same, but the demand of the product is decreasing. So like at the time of this COVID-19 lockdown, so because of that, we are even not buying the goods at the same price. So what is that? That is decrease in the demand curve. So if after lockdown, the price will remain same, but we are able to buy the goods, we will not do the things like we are buying less now in this time because of we are not allowed to move around. So after this lockdown is over, we are able to demand more. So in that case, our shift is towards the right side. So what we call it as increase in demand. So obviously we will have more increase in demand. So now let's talk about this change of the flow chart. So in this change in demand occurs due to change in factors other than price that I told you. So it leads to shift in demand curve. So change in demand is also known as shift in demand curve. So there are two types of shifts. One is rightward and other is leftward. So rightward shift is known as increase in demand. So it is because of favorable changes, because at the same price when the factors are favorable for people to buy the things. So in that case, we are able to have increase in demand. If we are not able to buy the goods, like the situation we are facing now, unfavorable changes there. So because of that, decrease in demand occurs at the same price. We call it as leftward shift. Now let's move to the next slide. So what is in that? So here is increase in demand. So you can see the first schedule here. So when the price is same, I told you already, price is same, but the demand increased because of other factors are changing. So in this case, we can see DD to D1, D1, that is the shift. So the demand curve is shifting towards the right hand side. So we call this as increase in demand. So this we can explain even. Now let's see the next thing. So after increase in demand, we have the next thing, that is decrease in demand. So here you can see the prices same in the schedule and demand for units is decreasing 100 to 70. So what happens? The demand shifts to inward side. So it will be shifting to the left hand side. So what will happen? With same price, the demand is declining, is decreasing. So we call it as decrease in demand. So your leftward shift is called as decrease in demand. So I hope this is clear to you. Next, shall we move? So I feel this is clear to you. Next, shall we move now? So I'm moving. Next topic is substitute goods. So substitute goods are those goods which can be used at the place of one another. So substitute goods are those goods which can be used in place of one another for satisfaction of a particular want, like tea and coffee are perfect substitute for each other. So next thing is we can take the example of Coke and Pepsi even. Fine. So these can be used for one or the other for their place. Next is demand for given commodity varies directly with the price of substitute good. Yes, so demand is always vary because of direct directly with the price of the substitute good. So it changes because of the change in the price of the one good to another. So you can see the price of coffee has risen up and it has gone to P1. So what happened? The demand of tea rises from OQ to OQ1. So you can see the demand has now risen up from OQ to OQ1. So due to increase in price of substitute good, that is coffee, from OP to OP1. So this is what they are explaining here. Fine. So the demand for this is because of coffee's price increased. So people started now shifting. Now people started demanding more of tea. So people started demanding more of tea. Next thing is complementary goods. We have already discussed in the earlier part of the chapter. So complementary goods are those goods which are demanded together, which are used together. So here we will just discuss the definition again. Complementary goods are those goods which are used together to satisfy a particular want. So demand for a given commodity varies inversely with the price of a complementary good. So inversely means indirectly. So what does it mean? You can see sorry, you can see in the graph your price of the sugar and tea. So you can see there is a price of sugar on the y-axis and there is demand for tea on the x-axis. So for this price of sugar, you can see P and Q was the demand for tea in original. Now what happened? Price of sugar has risen up now from P to P1. Now your price has grown up from OP to OP1. Now what happened because of price increase in this? So what happened? The demand for tea has now fallen down. So what happened? The demand previously was OQ. Now it has now fallen to OQ1. So that was the point. So you can even check on the graph. Demand of tea falls from OQ to OQ1 due to increase in price of complementary good, that is sugar, from OP to OP1. So that was the point which we have to discuss in this. So graph for complementary goods will be like this. Now let's move to the next topic. That is, demand is not affected by change in price of unrelated goods. Now there were two related goods. We have already done substitute and complementary goods. Now if there is any change we find because of unrelated goods, so let me check with this. So demand is not affected by change in price of unrelated goods. So this is also the fact. Unrelated goods, if their price changes, we are not our demand will not be affected with this. So demand for commodity is affected by change in price only. Related goods, substitute and complementary goods, any change in the price of unrelated goods do not affect the demand for a given commodity. Unrelated goods to those which are not linked with the demand for a given commodity. For example, there will be no change in the demand for tea with the change in the price of pen. So you can see both are unrelated goods, pen and this tea, demand for tea and the price of pen. So both are unrelated. So because of this, we are not finding any change in the demand of tea because of change in the price of pen. So let's move to the next topic, that is cross demand. So what is cross demand? This is an interesting topic. Cross demand refers to the relationship between demand of a given commodity and the price of related commodities, other things remaining the same. Same means constant. So only price of one commodity will affect the price of related commodity. So that will be the cross demand. So cross demand includes how much quantity of a given commodity will be demanded at different prices of related commodity. So substitute goods and complementary goods are the related goods. So it can be expressed as dx, that is the demand for x commodity, and P, function of P means functional relationship. If demand of x is increasing, then obviously what will be the relation of price of y? So that will be always related to this. So price of related commodity, that is substitute or complementary goods, we are talking about this here. So this is the cross demand. So this relationship between dx and fpy, that is important. So you have to do that. So cross demand, I hope, is clear to you. Yes. So let's move. Cross demand can be either positive or negative. Yes, there are two concepts related to cross demand. So it can be positive or it can be negative. So if it is positive, so what happens in that case? So cross demand is positive in case of substitute goods. So when we are using one commodity for the other, so in that case, what happens? The demand for the given commodity varies directly with the prices of substitute goods. So if the price of Pepsi increased, obviously demand for Coke is increasing, so it will be having positive impact. So if we talk about the negative, so for negative is the complementary goods. Means I can give you example for this. वो कहते हैं वो तो डूबा साथ में मुझे भी ले डूबा. So what is that? Cross demand is like this. So price of sugar has increased, and because of that that demand of tea is also fallen down. So what is that? That is cross demand is negative in case of complementary goods. So this is the point. Okay. So I hope this is clear to you. Now let's move to the next topic. That is cross price effect on demand curve. So what is the effect of cross price? So let's check that one. So that is cross price effect refers to effect on the demand for a given commodity due to change in the price of related commodity. So when we are having the effect on the demand for a given commodity due to change in the price of related commodity, it means cross price effect originates from substitute goods and complementary goods. So always cross price effect is always originates. मतलब कहाँ से start होता है? Substitute goods and complementary goods. So let's understand the effect on the demand curve of a given commodity when there is change in prices of substitute and complementary goods. So we can understand this with the substitute goods and complementary goods. For today, we are going to do only change in the price of substitute goods. So slides. So change in prices of substitute goods. So first is increase in price of substitute goods. So we are taking the curve for coffee and that is tea and coffee. We are taking two substitutes here. So when price, you can see here increase in price of substitute goods. So for this, when price of substitute goods, say coffee, rises, so the price of coffee is rising now. Demand for the given commodity, say tea, also rises from OQ to OQ1 at now OQ to OQ1. So you can see the same price, and the demand for tea is increased because of increase in the coffee. Fine. So this is the point. Okay. So at its same price of OP, and it leads to rightward shift in demand curve of the given commodity from DG to D1 D1. So what is that? That is effect on demand curve due to increase in price of substitute goods. So it will be we are going to see the increase because of change in the because of the rise in the price of one substitute good, and because of rise of the price rise in the price of one substitute good, the demand for other substitute is always increasing. This is the point. So opposite of this, we have the next point, that is decrease in price of. So here is the next thing, change in price of substitute goods. So decrease in price of substitute goods, this is the opposite of the last topic. So you can see with the decrease in price of substitute goods, now say see the price of coffee is decreasing. Now what happened? Demand for the given commodity tea. So we were demanding about tea. The price of the tea remains same. So in this case, what happens? Decrease now demand for the given commodity tea also decreases from OQ to OQ1 at the same price of OP, and it shifts the demand curve of the given commodity towards left hand side from DD to D1 D1. So again, this is again showing you the same concept, and but here you can see the decrease because of decrease in price is leading to decrease in the price of coffee is leading to decrease in the demand of tea. So what happens? In this case, demand for coffee is rising. So because of that, demand for tea is declining. So this is what we are showing in this graph. Fine. So I hope this is clear to you. Now let's move to the next thing. So that are the questions, as we are doing always in the end of every chapter. So that is questions to be done for today. The first question is define shift in demand curve. So you can explain what is shift in demand curve, then what are the various reasons for shift in demand curve. Ceteris paribus, I told you. So all reasons behind this, determinants of all individual and your market demand, you need to explain all together here. Then is explain increase in demand and decrease in demand in detail. So you have to make graphs so also for this. Next is define substitute and complementary goods with diagrams. So you can explain this also. Then define cross demand. Then you have to, what do you mean by cross price effect on demand curve? So you have to just explain it in simple way. Then explain change in prices of substitute goods with diagrams. So in the end, I would say thank you, God bless you, and really take very good care of yourself and your family, and always have something healthy in your diet, and enjoy learning at home. So we are there for you every time. So Cambridge is helping you out to learn with e-learning. So we are there to help you. If you have any kind of doubt in your subject, so you can give me call at any time, or you can just give me WhatsApp, drop a message. I will give you call back whenever I'll have a time, because as you know, we are at home, but we still have many work, many home chores even. So we can work with you. In the end, I forget something. Let me just give you one more tip. So whenever you are attempting any question, so you have to mark one line in the end of every answer, so that your answers will not mix with each other, and always give your answer while numbering in the proper way. You can start your paper either from the question number 25 to 1. So it 25 to 1. So you can attempt your all the questions at ascending as well as descending order. So but you need not to do it like one question we are done here is 5th, then we are doing question number 25, so then question number 3rd, then question number 15. So it would not be preferred in any time. So again, thank you so much. God bless you. Do well in your studies. I'm there to help you. Cambridge is always with you. So Cambridge International School, the SUA is doing all efforts for you. So do well, study well, enjoy learning at home. Stay home, happy, healthy, and stay healthy. God bless you.